So today we're gonna do some birria, birria. I'm not sure how you say it. I just know how to cook it very well. Before we start, make sure your hands are clean. Make sure your workstation is sanitized. Make sure you clean your meats. I already cleaned it. I had about 10 pounds that I'm gonna do today, but make sure you clean it because when it's at these slaughterhouses and at these meat markets and stuff, I always say like they don't have the best like sanitation practices and stuff. So me personally, what I like to do is I'll get whatever. Like I said, I like chuck roast because that breaks down pretty easy. You just need to cut it into good sized portions. You don't want them to be too small, but you don't want them to be too big either. And the thing about it too, if you got sections like this with that fat, that's key. That's what you're looking for because if I'm not mistaken, that's what aids in making like the consomme or whatever that you need to dip it in later. But just go through it. I need a new knife because this knife ain't as sharp as it used to be, even with me sharpening it. But yeah, just cut them in half. Oh, I almost forgot. Make sure you have some water already boiling. I wouldn't recommend that you season the water just yet because it's like it's not really gonna take effect. Like it'll make the water change color, but it's not gonna have no flavor. So I wouldn't recommend you even wasting the seasoning at that point. Just make sure you cut it in half. So dot splashing. When you put meat and stuff in the sink, make sure you have it in a strainer. I know our grandmothers and stuff used to season meat in the sink, but it's kind of unsanitary because yeah, you can clean your sink all you want, but you got to think that sink is attached to a drain, and that drain is attached to a sewer, and it's better not to risk it, like not developing, but causing like a foodborne illness. Because I remember when I was in the Navy, that happened. Like it broke out real bad. So it's just one of them things that's safe to avoid. But like I said, don't cut the pieces too small. But don't have them too big because you're gonna want them, and they don't even have to be uniform, but they do need to be to a point where they can still be together without completely breaking up, I should say. So that's why I just normally like the real big chunks. I try not to make them so small. Oh, drop some meat, throw it away. Don't even risk it. Like I said, like that's one of them situations to where um you might think it's okay, but if you clean your stove with some harsh chemicals or something like that, why risk it? You might as well just scrap it, especially if you got a large amount that you've already done. So the next part, this is the way I do it. It's not like a set motion or a set recipe you have to follow. This is just what I do. Get you 2 tomatoes. You can use Roma tomatoes or you can use the big ones like this. It really doesn't matter. But have them in a separate pot. And something else, if you are pressed for time or you in a crunch for time and you don't feel like using fresh tomatoes, just use canned diced tomatoes. It's gonna do the exact same thing. Like I had to learn that the hard way. But see how you already got the meat is in here. It's already been kind of simmering a little bit. You can go ahead and add just a little bit of seasoning. Like you don't gotta cake it in there. You don't have to throw it in there like to where it's a whole bunch, but it's just enough to give it like a little tinge of flavor. We got our peppers here. I know this is ancho. I forgot what the other ones are, but they have seeds and stems. So before you put them in the thing to boil, you need to open them up, take the stem out, and take all the seeds out and just dump them out. And that way, I don't know what's the cause of why you need to take them out, but you have to take them out. And we got our onions and we got our cilantro. Me personally, I like to put a little bit of both into the mixture itself just to give it that flavor or whatever. But this mainly is for the consomme after everything is done. Like you can either dump it in a pot or you could just leave it. Yeah. So I say that with those tomatoes too, they don't gotta be in there like stupid long, man, because it's a soft fruit. Tomatoes are fruit. Tomatoes are fruit, right? Yeah. Is it a vegetable or is it a fruit? I think it's a fruit. So they don't take that long to cook or whatever, because you're not trying to have it to where they completely soggy or something like that. It's mainly you're softening them up so when you put them in the blender or whatever, they'll break down easier. So make sure you have a blender. That's very, very important because you're basically going to be shredding the tomatoes and you're going to be shredding your different chilies or whatever. I believe that's what they call them. I'm trying to think, am I missing anything? Oh, you need some salted butter. That's something that I do with mine. It's not mandatory, but I feel like it gives the what you call a little bit more flavor. I'm out of uniform. Man, y'all ain't even tell me I ain't have my apron on or nothing, bro. So let me get in. Like I said, it does not take that long at all for these to get to where you need them to be. So a good sign that they're good to go is the skin will start splitting or whatever. And the same water you put in here, you can do for the chilies. These another thing. Them don't take a long time at all, bro. Like I swear to God, like it's real, real quick. I normally do it this way because like I said, the tomatoes are kind of bigger than everything else that's going in. So I kind of like to blend them up first. It's gonna be loud, y'all. Yeah. Make sure you break them down so they'll be in a good pulp or whatever. There we go. You almost want to what's the word? Puree, like a puree consistency or whatever. Yeah. Like I said, the majority of the stuff it cooks real, real fast. Like, so just be mindful of that. And then when you grab your chilies, make sure that they are like real, real, real. I don't know the term I look for. Tender, probably not tender, but just make sure they look kind of flimsy. Flimsy. I wouldn't even say this. Just make sure that they're not as rigid, I should say. This is what you want. This is what you want. So you go over to your pot. You should be already boiling at this point. And you completely add that in. It's going to be a little bit more left. So just a little bit of water and get all of it out because you pretty much going to need it. That's a lot where your flavor is going to be coming from. Remember I said earlier, it's not mandatory, but I just put a little bit of both of these in there to give it a little bit more flavor. And here comes the most important part. I'm not going to lie to you. The thing about these, well, the consomme itself, a lot of your flavor in the meat and stuff is going to come from this right here. So you got to kind of season it very, very well. I'm not going to lie. So the first thing I use is chili powder. You might as well just throw the whole thing of chili powder in there. The onion powder. Throw all that in there. The ground cumin. I don't know if it's cumin or cumin. You want to say cumin. And get you a ladle, something that you can really get deep down in it, so you can get a good stir. See, at this point, you're gonna have a lot of flavor, but you're not gonna have seasoning, and that's where the seasoned salt and the salt comes in. You definitely need to put a generous amount of there in it because yeah, the consomme that's there, it's probably got a good flavor, but it's gonna take a while for that to get into that meat and to really, 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 like really get in there and get the flavor going. So make sure you season it up real, real, real good. Make sure you get a good stir. I don't know why I'm talking loud like I'm projecting towards that microphone like this. I mean, like projecting towards that like this microphone ain't right here on my what you call it. I'm actually looking for a plastic fork or a plastic spoon because you need to taste this. You need to see if it's there, if it needs more seasoning, or if you need to dial it back a little bit. So it's very important that you taste this. Damn, I'm good. On the first try. I know that was loud in this microphone. I'm sorry, y'all. But it's literally already there. Like I don't have to season it no more. I don't have to do nothing to it. So when I'm cooking, when I used to cook for customers and stuff like that, I used to use this pot and this pot. And what I'll do, I'll create I don't even know what to call it, man. Like I'll just put some foil at the bottom of this and then I'll just put it on the top of them. And man, when I tell y'all, it'll raise that temperature in that pot so quick, and it'll take something that normally take 10 hours to cook it down in like I want to say 5 or 6. But if you need to improvise, it's not a stretch to just get some foil. Get some foil. And just go over the top. But be mindful that this pot is gonna sweat. So you're gonna have a little bit of water dripping down the sides. Don't worry about it. It can't hurt nothing, it ain't gonna harm nothing. So I normally go like 2 layers across like this. And this is one of them set and forget things, bro. Like you can just literally leave this here. You can come back and test it in like an hour or 2 or whatever. But when I do it, I just like if I'm like when I used to cook or whatever, at this point I'll work on the Kool-Aid and stuff, or I'll work on the bags that need to be prepped. It's always a good rule of thumb to clean as you go. You know what I'm saying? But at this point, that's pretty much the prep is done. So just chill after this. It's definitely what you're looking for. So if I'm not mistaken, it's been about 2 hours, right? When you're taking this foil off, be extremely careful because this will burn you very, very bad. So if you got like some long tongs like this, you can kind of remove it that way. I'm sure y'all can see all the steam and stuff that's coming off of it. But yeah. Oh, this smells great. And if you can, try to find one of the bigger pieces. One like this. You can just bring it over real quick. I don't know if y'all can see it. Yeah, you can see it pretty good. So with this, see how quick it, I'm gonna say see how quick it chops, but as you can see, it's pretty much falling apart. This is what you're looking for. You want it to be tender just like that. Whew. Yes. You know what's funny, man? This is my first time making this in a long time, and it's just like riding a bike, bro. When I tell y'all this is exactly what you're looking for, this is exactly what you need. I'm not sure what's it called, like the line of oil that be on top of the consomme that you have to dip your stuff in or whatever, but it's slowly but surely starting to separate right now. See, me personally, after you get done simmering it, whatever, I like to let the meat soak into this for a little while just to give it a little bit more flavor. but the flavor's already there or whatever in the meat. It just makes it a little bit more pronounced. Remember what I told y'all earlier about the salted butter? That's what's the white splotches or whatever that's in it right now. White, yellow, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But it's just gonna give it a little bit more flavor or whatever. And at this point, if you want to, you can add the onions and you can add the cilantro. But if you want to save that for later, you can also do that. But this is what I was striving for. This is perfect. So this pretty much the final step for everything. As always, make sure your hands are clean because of course you want to practice good sanitation, but when you're cooking for yourself or the family, it's okay. But like if I was to be catering an event or anything like that, I'll put on gloves. It's so much easier to do this with gloves on because as you can see, this meat is piping hot. So you want to kind of drain this off before you put it over here because a lot of this is the it has consomme on it, so you don't want to waste it. And it's exactly how this meat should be falling apart. Shouldn't be tough, shouldn't be none of that. Even the bigger pieces. You're gonna get like a couple of them with like some fat pockets and stuff, but it's like nothing you can't do. I like mine to be finely shredded. The more shredded, the better. And see, normally when people make birria, anything or whatever, they individually put it into each taco or each burrito. This is how I do it. This makes it easier for me. Like grab your meat, throw it in there. Like I said, this is so much easier when it's you just put it in a what you call it. So grab your cheese. Me, I use mild cheddar and mozzarella. Them are my two. Or if you want to use Mexican cheese, you can use that too. But this is the process that takes the most time. But once you get it done, preheat your oven. You definitely need to preheat your oven. Cause that's going in the oven afterwards. That's why you can't it can't be too high. Whew, man. I wish y'all could smell this right now. And this was only 10 pounds we doing today. Man, when I was cooking and selling this, bro, I was doing, I want to say 70 or 80 pounds at a time. Pretty much that big pot will be filled from the top to the bottom. Man, this smells so good. Like I said, I like it for it to be finely chopped. Cause that consistency is like it just melts. So get the second batch. This is why gloves are important because I wouldn't be getting my hands burned right now. Then you can just do another layer of cheese. It's a method to the madness, I promise. Seeing if you had on gloves at this point, you could just keep switching the gloves out instead of constantly washing your hands, which will make it easier. And when I was doing it in that big pot, I had this big strainer. Instead of me individually grabbing the meat out like this, I'll just go in with the strainer, shake it, and then dump it on here, do it. And then the pans would be this big. I would have like 5 pans lined up, and we'll just do the same process. Same process over and over and over. I'm trying to make these videos quick so y'all, because I know people like don't want to be sitting here bored hearing me talk about stuff that don't matter. But and then if you get like little grips of fat like this, put that back in the pot because that helps with the oil that's eventually going to break down and make it easier for you to dip the stuff in. So here's another piece. Oh, yeah. Hopefully, as I get more comfortable in front of the camera, my videos won't be as choppy and as jarring, but I feel like we're doing good. Basically, you making a Birria lasagna. I thought about doing that, but I want this channel not to be gimmicky. Like, I will say, I remember when I was dropping like a new food product every other day. That's what I feel like everybody tries to do now on TikTok and stuff. That's why I try to stay away from it. Like, I wanna do grounded recipes. I want to do recipes anybody can pick up and, you know what I'm saying, do it by themselves. Yep, that's pretty much it. So when you get to the bottom, like I said, this part right here is the most time consuming part for me, but for other people that might not be cooking as much, it might go by quicker. And it's the last layer. We got a good little amount out of that. So who's that? Oh, I don't know. So make sure that's even. So remember, you don't want to disturb the consomme on top, so make sure you stir it. Get a good little amount. And this so that flavor can really, really sit in that meat while it's in the oven. There we go. So there. It should look something like this. And you got to keep in mind, your meat is already cooked, right? So this isn't to cook it more. This is more to melt the cheese. So when we do, you know, take the when we do put it in the burrito or the tortilla or whatever, it's already melted. It's gonna stick together 1,000 times better. This can be on anywhere from 350 to 400. It don't even take that long. Like probably final result. So this is our consomme. This is what we're gonna be dipping the Birria in or whatever. And then this is what's going inside. Man, stand by. This is probably the hardest, easiest part of this, right? So make sure your cooking surface is hot. This is so much easier in the big pots, but I'm gonna have to make a way in the small one. Keep in mind, like I said, make sure your hands are clean. So you do that side face down first. Matter of fact, since I don't have it how I normally would, I'm gonna turn that off and get you a good. Ooh, I wish y'all could smell this. So normally I would put cheese at the bottom of that, but it's already a lot of cheese in this, so we don't really need to drown it or oversaturate it. You definitely want to get you a good portion because this is going to be the quesadilla. We're going to do the quesadilla first. See, oh, I'm loving how this came out. So get you some cheese. I know it's ugly right now, but it's gonna be worth it in a minute. You can go ahead. Matter of fact, yeah, turn it back on. This will be so much easier, like on an expansive grill, but this is what we got to work with right now. And for future reference, go ahead and put the cheese on the bottom too, because I just thought about it. It's gonna probably be tricky getting this other one to stick on the bottom, but we're gonna try. Do the same thing with this. But this one This one goes on top. This is finna make a mess, bro. I can feel it. All because I didn't put the cheese on the bottom. This is gonna make a mess. I can feel it. Oh, I can feel it. I can feel it, man. It's cooking nicely, but okay, we need this. Trying to see how I'm gonna attack this, bro. Oh, it's already slipping. I can feel it. This was a mistake. I'm not gonna edit this out. I'm gonna leave this in here because if I flip this and it falls apart, that'll be a lesson that I should have known. And normally I would have 2 spatulas with something big like this and try to flip it, but man, I don't know, man. Papa, come here. Oh, I'm nervous. Oh, I'm nervous. I'm gonna mess this up, bro. I'm so nervous. Cause I made it too big and I ain't put the cheese on the bottom like I was supposed to. 1, 2.
See? You don't have to be nervous. You don't have to be nervous, man.
It's ugly, but yeah. This ain't for you.
Oh.
This is for somebody special. Don't say it.
I'm not trying to talk, man. I know who.
What you want? You want a burrito or you want a quesadilla? All right, that's much easier to make than this. This is so much harder. So, like I said, normally I would have 2 spatulas, like 2 flat spatulas. This was hard doing it with that, but it'll be a little bit more uniform normally. But this, I'm happy how this came out. Oh, this mug is loaded. So I guess the rest of them, we can do burritos. I even got the smaller ones to do the like the tacos, but man, that's really a waste of time, bro. Like I'm not doing them because it's the same concept with doing these than it is with doing them. So we go straight off. Make sure you cut off your heat source. And so, ooh, this mug all crispy and everything. Oh my God. Bro, I haven't made Birria in so long. Oh yeah, these definitely not gonna fit in here. We're gonna try. We gonna try. The burritos are way easier than them monstrosities. So you get you a good portion. Ask anybody who's ever got this for me, they'll tell you it's a monster portion. Oh yeah. Ugh, Jesus Christ, man. And I need y'all to know it tastes good. Keep in mind, like I always say, make sure your hands are clean. I learned this from Chipotle. You roll it. This what keeps it in here. So then you get your other one. You need 2, remember? So boom, boom. As y'all can see, the oil is on it. That's what you want to hear. Boom, boom. See, when I used to make these, I used to have a big like tabletop skillet. And it used to make this so much easier. But you can go ahead and turn these back on because they're gonna cook fast because it's already hot. So this cheese is basically to seal it. You don't need to put a lot on it. You put enough. Put enough, put enough. And you can put the rest of it on there. So you grab your burrito and boom, right there. And see, while these are cooking, that's when you grab another shell and you repeat the process. So at this point, you're done with those. Repeat the same technique. But keep an eye on them because, like I said, they're going to cook fast. You roll it. Like I said, I got to reiterate that because y'all know how people on the internet be. If you're cooking for yourself in your house, you don't have to wear gloves. But if you're cooking for somebody else, it's a good practice to make sure that you have on gloves. You can turn these off at this point, and you go under the first one. At this point, ooh, beautiful. Boom. Same one with this one. This one hot. There you go. I don't know if y'all can see. Oh, yeah, you can see them. Like, then you can just let them seal themselves. At this point, you definitely can add the cilantro and the onions. I'm so happy how these came out. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. And then another thing, if you want them fried harder, just leave them on here for a little bit longer. They'll get crispier. But if you want them, they perfectly fine to come off like this. So you take one off, get your knife. Boom. Boom. Jesus Christ. Take both. Boom. Y'all look at this. That's simple. About to break the plate. Them are your burritos and them are your quesadillas.